Hello there, welcome to another Starfield video. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at a build of this vessel. So this situation may seem familiar. This is the Vanguard simulator questline that you do upon joining the UC Vanguard. And you basically enter a little simulation pod and you're given this ship to fly. Now it's quite a unique ship because it's not in the actual base game. It says that it's like one of the types of the Vanguard vessel, or the Deimos vessels, but it's not. I'm assuming it might be an older vessel, given that the Vanguard have been around for quite a while. So it's probably an outdated system, but it's a pretty cool ship, and I've got a couple of people asking me oh, can you rebuild it? So I have. So I will now show you that. Alright, so here it is here. So I've nicknamed it, or I've called it the Vanguard Simulator ship. Now, it was kind of tricky building this because when you do the simulator, mission, you can't access photo mode. So in order to kind of get, the specs for it, I kind of had to go in, third person and, fly it, with these, odd angles. So it's I want to say it's 90% accurate. It's probably not 100%, but it gets all the the key features of it. So if we look at the stats of the vessel, it's got a fuel of 800, which is extremely large. I'm not really sure why it needs that much fuel, but you know, it is what it is. It's got a hull of 838, which isn't too bad. Now it is a C-class vessel, so it's a bit unusual to have such low hull. It's got a cargo capacity of 280, which comes purely from the cockpit. It's got a C-class reactor with 30 power, which is very nice. Crew of 6, which, again, this is where it gets a bit kind of tricky because you can't actually access the back habitat modules of the ship. So I just kind of went with the generic. I added a crew command module. I think I added an all-in-one berth and then just a docking port. It's got a jump range of 30 light years, which is very, very nice. Its shields are 1740, but that's not accurate. I don't know why it's showing that amount of shields. I do have a perk that increases my shield, but it's using the Vanguard shield, which is 1450. I don't know why it's showing that. And then for weapons, now it only had it basically had this similar setup, but it didn't use any of the Vanguard weapons or the Vanguard shields. And I thought, well, you might as well upgrade it. So we've got some of the Vanguard laser beams there. We've got a Vanguard missile pod, and then we've got two of those Vanguard Hellfire cannons. So as always, you can't purchase this vessel. I just sell it to the vendor so I can see its stats, because I have perks that increase my stats. I don't know why the shield is saying it's that. It shouldn't be. Anyway, let's go check it out, shall we? So as you can see, it's a very unique looking Deimos vessel. It's quite a cool shape. It's a lot of Deimos ships, they're kind of very blade-like, but they don't have this kind of profile. I quite like this profile of vessel. It's really, really cool. And then we've got entryway in the back there, the Vanguard weaponry. The only thing that's kind of weird about this build, and I double-checked a couple of times, so it has a B-class grav drive, but it has a C-class reactor. Now, it looks a bit weird, but that's how the ship is set up, so you know, who am I to say anything? Anyway, let's go inside and check it out. We've got the Deimos entryway, which is very nice as usual. We've got nothing in the first aid. Sadly, this vessel doesn't come with a cheat terminal that lets you make the shields OP, but, you know. So immediately we have the Deimos control room. Extra crew compartments. You got crew can chill and do all their jobs here. And then obviously we have the bridge, which we'll check in a second. And then we come back here. We have... Oh, I put an armory. Okay, so I decided to put an armory in here. Just because it kind of makes sense, you know, it being a combat vessel. Got two little windows here, which are quite nice. And then back here, we just have a little 1x1 companionway, and then we have the docking port on the back. So now if we go to the cockpit, it's using the standard Deimos cockpit. I went with the highest tier version of it just because. We've got the captain's locker there. I like it. I've said this many times. I like these cockpits. They're quite cool, but it doesn't feel like a warship cockpit. It just feels more like a dropship cockpit. But yeah, we've got our storage there. Let's take it up to the ship forms. Now, something that was quite interesting that I didn't really intend on it being a thing, but the weapon configuration is quite good. All right, so let's take her off. So as always, I have a perk that increases my power by 5. So for the sake of this review, we're going to be removing 5 power. But just as it takes off, you can see it has a really cool profile. Very unique for Deimos vessels. I like the kind of how the front's very angular, like blade-like.
Orbital pattern locked in.
So I'm going to remove some of the pips real quick. Alright, so weapon-wise, we have the Vanguard laser weapons, very fast fire rate. We've got those Vanguard ballistic, I think they're the Hellfire turrets, or cannons, very powerful too. And then we've got the Vanguard missile launcher. The Vanguard weapons are basically just base weapons that have increased damage and like max fire rate, which is kind of nice. So a quick little speed test. It's got a base speed, I'm assuming it's going to be a base speed of 140. Yeah, it's base speed of 140. It's using B-class engines. Boost speed of 520, which isn't too bad. Now, quick agility test, so pitch test. Yeah, this pitch is very fast, that's like an 8. The yaw test. Again, very fast. Now, weirdly, I don't think this ship has 100 mobility, so it's interesting how agile it is. We're going to head down to the surface now, and I'll show you how to build it. Alright, so here we are in the Teardown. So, all of this can be built at the Deimos location, the Deimos Star Yard. So we've got the Deimos DS 20.3 Phobos cockpit, 280 cargo, 2 crew station. We've got the Deimos Armory 2x1, Deimos Control Station 2x1, Deimos Storeroom 1x1, Deimos 100D Slim Docker top, which will be flipped to the bottom. And then we have the 120 LD landing bay from Deimos. Next, for the landing gear, we have 3 of these 320 CB landing gear from Deimos. They give 3 thrust each. And then we have a pair of these H30 Atlas Helium 3 tanks from Dogstar. 400 grav jump fuel each, which is kind of overkill. We've got the Fuser DC-401 reactor from Deepcore, C-Class, 29 power, 4.5 repair rate, 755 hull. Now I don't know if this is the best of that reactor class. I think it is, because when I was building it at the Deimos location... Oh no, it isn't. Okay, okay, never mind. So this is actually a better one. That makes a lot more sense. So actually, we're going to be using this one instead. Sorry, the Fuser DC-403. So this is the same one, C-Class, 38 power, and it's 1190 hull. The Aurora 13G grav drive from Deepcore, B-Class, 10 max power, 33 grav jump thrust, and the current configuration gives us 30 light years. We've got the Vanguard Bulwark shield generator, which gives us the B-Class, 12 power, 1450 shield, which is very nice. And then we've got 2 of these Hercules DT-160 engines from Panoptes, B-Class, 3 max power, 24,300 engine thrust, 4650 maneuvering thrust. So they don't give us full mobility, but as you can see, the ship is quite mobile to begin with. And then weaponry, we have 2 of these Vanguard Hellfire autocannons, B-Class, 1040 range, 7.5 fire rate, 18 hull damage, and 2 power. We've got a single Vanguard Tempest CE-19 missile launcher from Vanguard, A-Class, 5200 range, 1.5 fire rate, 34.64 hull damage, 31.49 shield damage, and 6 power. Now that hull and shield damage, I think that's a bit, that's not the default damage, because I think I have like a magazine that increases my like rocket damage or missile damage by like 1%, so your stats may be a little bit different. And then we've got two of these Vanguard Starseeker Pulse Lasers, C-Class, 1300 range, 6 fire rate, 21 shield damage, and 4 max power. And then for the structural pieces, so we have these two winglets, which consist of Deimos braking engine, 2 Deimos hull A's, 2 Deimos spine A4s, a Deimos wing A port side, and then a Deimos tail A. Now, it's basically the same on both sides, so you have 2 of these. Now, interestingly, it uses these Deimos hulls, but you could potentially swap these out for habitat slots, if you wanted to. We've got a Deimos belly 4. We've got 2 of these portholes here from Nova Galactic. 4 of these Deimos Skeg A's. These kind of sit between the landing gear. And then we have this long spine section, which consists of 3 Deimos Spine B's, a Deimos Spine D, a Deimos Spine F, and a Deimos Tail. So let's get to work on building it. So we start off with the Phobos cockpit, and then behind that we have the crew compartment, and then behind that we have the armory, and then storeroom like so, and then the slim docker on the bottom, and then this, we put this bad boy here, this landing bay right there. And then we take this, not this, sorry, we take this here, and we slap this reactor right there. And then we put the grav drive to the left of it. And then these 2 engines slot right there. They're having difficulty, let me slot them. They basically sit one each side of the big engine like so. And then for the fuel tanks, they both basically sit here like so. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add these little winglet pieces here. So they basically just slot like that. They kind of like line up with the control station. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Like so. And then we have this Deimos belly 4. This just kind of slots in there to kind of angle out that little area. 2 little windows here. They slot here like so. And then we'll do the landing gear next. Now the way the landing gear is we have a singular landing gear on the back, snapping underneath the Aurora grav drive. And then we have 2 landing gear, 1 each side. They kind of sit, they snap to the back facing Deimos hull like that. And then for these little skegs, they basically snap between, so one of them snaps to the front hull piece and one of them snaps to the little tail. And then same on the other side like so. And then finally we have this really, really long tail piece. Basically just grab all of that and it sits like that there. The tail piece basically sits just above the reactor. And then the shield sits on top of the Deimos Spine C. Is that Spine C? No, that is it. Yeah, Spine F. Now for the weaponry, the Vanguard auto fire cannons both sit on top there. The Starseekers sit underneath on the little winglets, like so. And then finally, the Tempest launcher sits there. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, it's I want to say it's like 90% accurate. There was like a bit of a, I was trying to get all the angles, but it's quite difficult. Thing is, if I was on PC, I'd be able to spawn it in, but I think I'm on console, so I just kind of have to kind of rough house it. But yeah, it's all in all, it's a very cool ship. I'm kind of sad that Deimos don't sell it because it's very unique looking. It's kind of based off of the broadsword in the front section, but then it's like expanded at the back, which is interesting. Like I was saying, you could swap out these hull A pieces if you wanted to, and like replace them with another kind of habitat module if you like wanted to. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just a short little video. Let me know what you guys think. Quick question, actually. How hard did you guys find the Vanguard Simulator quest? I went in there. I think I was like level. I was quite high level because I left the Vanguard quest after the main quest. I think it was like level 30 with like perks for my ship, and even I had problems. I had to eventually do a little cheese technique where you basically park inside the space station and let the enemies just crash into you. But yeah, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you like this sort of content, and check out some of my other videos. Bye bye.